Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look again on the Bitcoin market. Sive Morten is here with the ForexPeaceArmy.com. As usual, on Monday and Thursday, we're preparing the updates on the Bitcoin market. So things that we have discussed in our recent fundamental report that we have announced last week in this monthly report. Lots of interesting stuff about the expectations, actually what we see in performance of the Bitcoin for the nearest time, for more extended time. So, and as we talked about this last time, despite that we have some dovish promises from the Fed, that some statistics that market currently reacted on, some other stuff that make dollar to fall and make such markets as gold, for example, and Forex market as well is moving higher. It doesn't, they're not work on the Bitcoin, mostly because by our opinion that Bitcoin market mostly is driven by liquidity in the United States, not by some statistics. It could be driven by the statistics when it's everything okay with the liquidity. But the liquidity issues appearing, it makes the hard pressure on the Bitcoin performance. And as well as the performance of the money supply in the United States for a longer term. But currently, the problems for the Bitcoin are twofold. First is a big borrowing appetite from the United States Treasury. As we said, until the mid of September, they still need to borrow approximately $250 billion. It's net borrowing, not just nominal borrowing. And also they need another 300 billions to fulfill its account with the Fed. In general, the half of the trillion should go out from the market in 2-3 weeks. So that's of course a really big sum, and this makes a pressure on the Bitcoin market, especially if as we do know that reverse repo facility is totally empty. There's no source of liquidity there. So currently the liquidity might be going only from the reserves of the banks, commercial banks. So we will see. But currently it seems that our suggestion is correct, and it really makes a pressure on Bitcoin performance. So on the monthly chart, take a look. This is August close, and it's promised nothing good for performance on the Bitcoin. Market right now stands at the really important vital level for the short-term tendency. We already talked about this 2 times, so I will not repeat it again. But if market will break through it, the road down to the 80 and below area will be open. So what this level you could see on a weekly chart. It's actually, as you can see, this previous consolidation of the previous tops. Because if market will just break it down, it will open once again this trading range. And that actually will be the area where it will start floating. On the weekly chart, also nothing really good. So we see the trend has turned bearish here. And market is trying to go out of this widening triangle consolidation. So if it's not at the oversold, so it has room to drop more down to 100 level. So, and this is really a tricky situation on Bitcoin right now. Meantime, I wouldn't estimate the danger right at this point, because you could see that as we promised, the downside action probably will be gradual, hardly will be very fast. The reason for that is lots of support areas standing around this level. Additionally to the natural support area, we also have a fib levels, which is actually create the confidence support of the 105.50, 108.30. And once market has reached the 104.5 support area, shows the minor balance, we said keep an eye on. Next probably will be 108, and that's precisely has happened. So market dropped to the 108. Now you can see market is forming some kind of the bullish reversal candle, bullish reversal session. It's not closed yet. This is for today's session. But if market will close somewhere around 109.50 or higher, that will be bullish reversal, and it might trigger the pullback here as well. So here is probably might be some retracement in the same manner as it was on the previous, after the previous drop. So that's what we will be watching for in the nearest time. although the context remained bearish on all time frames except maybe monthly, it doesn't mean that market should just keep falling straight forwards. The pullbacks probably will happen. And additionally to the picture that we have here on the daily, on the intraday charts, we also have something. First of all, let's take a look how this downward action has happened. This is 2 hour time frame chart. You can see that market actually has formed 3 drive buy pattern. First drive, second, third, and here is some preparation for a pullback. If 3 drives will work properly, in this case market has to move above the top between second and third drives. It doesn't mean that it has to keep going higher and just break everything and show the real reversal. Absolutely not. It just means that market in some way should test the top. If it will be just brief testing and market will collapse, that also the pattern will be treated as a completed. So this is normal. Currently consider the first sign of possible reaction. Since right around this level we have confidence resistance area 1350, 1380, 1390. So that might be interesting area to consider next entry on the bearish side. So for instance, if you have traded it down, close position, or you just think about taking the short position, obviously we should do this not on the confidence support. We prefer to see some rally to sell into. And that might be the particular rally that we are watching for. So this area seems interesting for a possible taking the short position. Speaking about long entry and trading this free drive, it's not forbidden. This is up to you. But since the overall context remains bearish, we do not consider it as a part of our trading plan. If you would like to, you could do this. We're just showing you the background that theoretically it might work. We have the free drive, but the final decision, we can't say that we recommended it because it doesn't fit to overall bearish sentiment or bearish context. So that's why we can't include it as a plan in the plan, as I said. But this setup also has its attractive features. For example, you could place really tight stop just below these lows, and you will be possessed with this free drive. If you will get the good trade, that will be great risk reward, and so in general will be a nice trading setup. That's why I am really absolutely normally treat this situation and have no objections if you will try to do this. Speaking about downside action, if we take a look at the full time frame chart, here we have the ABCD in progress, which actually has the same target as the OP, stands 104. It's absolutely the same as the extension of this upward action. So extension counted down in the same manner as we estimate the targets for butterflies. It also stands around 104. So once this retracement will be over, and if downside action will continue, that will become the next target. That's what we have currently on the market, just as a bottom line. For a short entry, we are watching for a pullback somewhere to the 113.50 area and watching for reaction. That's a probable area where we could think about taking a new short position. Next target to the downside is 104, 105 approximately. Speaking about long position, bullish position, it is not forbidden. We have the pattern, but it doesn't fit a bearish context. Still, if you would like to trade it, I see no problems with that. Your stops have to be placed below these lows. Target will be the same 113 area, and stop, sharply speaking, precisely 113.40 approximately. So that's probably all that we could say about Bitcoin market. Let's keep watching and see you next time.